Good afternoon. Hey, I just wanted to move my camera for a minute. Hey, um, and wanted to record. I know that I need to change my sound up a little bit, but I did want to get on here and say that. So I went on last night and went to Jeffree Star's video feeds that he was talking about Kat Von D. Here's my take, and this is just my opinion. Um, if you want to make sure Jeffree Star gets this, that would be great. Hey, Jeffree, I have tried to get PR. I have tried to sign up, and the links aren't working. And I would die to have PR from you so that I can give it a honest review. Um, Also, would love to come to your store. Um, so one of the things, I'm not picking sides. I will tell you, I love Kat Von D's products. I've heard great things about Jeffree Star. I just haven't got my hands on it yet. Um, I may have to order it to give a proper review. Um, will say this: the so after probably close to 45 minutes of going over Jeffree Star's videos that he put out last night and the text messages, I will say this. So I went on and saw Jeffree Star's the text messages that were sent from Kat Von D. So I'm almost sure that my opinion probably is the same as Jeffree Star's. Do I think anybody should pick sides? No. I think they both are great creators, and um, I think there's been some things done, and I think when it comes from the circle that you think is there to raise you up, it hurts more. I think that that is a sad place to be. I know that I'm simple folk, but that doesn't mean I didn't come from money. There was a time that I came from money, and I'll tell you what, figuring out who your friends are, who the people that you can trust are, is difficult. Um, Especially when, you know, I live my life very simple on purpose because, like I said, I've come from both sides of those tracks, and I don't know that I enjoy trying to figure out who, I want to be creative. I want to be that person who, just enjoys life and those things. I don't want to. And if you're at my home, I would hope that you are a valued friend. But I have had people in my home that over time, at first I thought, okay, well, I'll definitely let you in my space. I think I have had to learn. I don't even think I know. I've had to learn that my heart is good and that I want to put great things out. And that's what I see when I see Jeffree Star. I see someone who has literally come from little to nothing and has learned so much over time that I have to give him so many props because it's a huge makeup's a huge industry. One, to figure out; two, to learn; three, who can you trust and who can't you. People do not realize what a huge entity the makeup industry is. And again, I am one that can say I walked away from any kind of money to live a very simple life because I just don't have the energy to to mess with the BS, is what I'm going to say. I think it's sad. I think that Jeffree Star puts good things out to his community. I think he puts great things out to the industry. And you can argue that with me all day long. And I'm sure Kat Von D at one time did. I think that the text messages I saw last night, if that had been me, I would have been so hurt and so angry and just a million things. And, Jeffree put it out there really well. I don't know that I would have put it out there that well, because I would have been so spitting angry and so hurt, because if I read everything correctly, and quote me, I could be wrong, but they had a working relationship and they had a friendship that I believe Jeffree felt like, she was trying to mentor and help him where he may have needed answers, or he had questions and he could ask her. And what I saw is, a friendship text, and then I saw just pretty much a dead silence almost for quite some time. And then out of nowhere, there's a text message on Jeffree's phone that says, "Hey, did you know the artist or the person that I referred to you? I think the initials were BJ. And why haven't you paid him yet?" Okay, two things wrong with that. You haven't talked to Jeffree Stars in weeks or months, and then out of nowhere, you don't say, "Hi, how are you doing? What's up?" Nothing. All you come on and say is, "Why haven't you paid BJ?" First of all, that is none of your business. None. Zero. Why you don't run Jeffree Star's business. Number two, he was very clear. Not that he needed to share it with Kat Von D, but that he was very clear he did not feel like he had the money or the means to use this artist at the time. That did not mean that Jeffree Star said, "I'm never going to collaborate with him. I'm never going to use him. I'm never going to, and it pains me that these people, now that Jeffree Stars is big and his label's great and he's making tons of money, now we're going to complain about not getting played. Now we're going to have issues with how they felt like it was work. And here's my thing. There wasn't a signed contract. There wasn't any kind of, "I'm going to work with you." It was, "I love your ideas." Jeffree wasn't rude. He wasn't nasty. He wasn't hateful. He just said that at the time he could not afford that person. And so he went a different route, which he's allowed to go a different route. I mean, it's his business ultimately. And Kat Von D had the opportunity to probably have a little bit of say in who he was going to do business and who he wasn't going to do business with back in the day. But if everything I'm reading is correct, she walked away from that. Once you walk away and you're still, being friends, that's where it lies. You're friends. You're not business partners. You are not any kind of business partner at that point. And I'm sure there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't know. But again, everything I read, everything I saw says that if that had been me and you hadn't talked to me for weeks or months, and then you send me a text, my first thought is, that is none of your damn business. My second thought is, where was any kind of compassion? I mean, if you wanted this resolved, I don't think that would have been the tact or the style I would have approached it at. We all have friends. I have friends that I recommend all the time, but I don't talk for them. I don't manipulate the situation. I may recommend somebody, but I'm always like, "Here's their number, you call them." And I do that for my safety because I've seen people flip a switch out of nowhere for the smallest of things. Um, and my thing with Jeffree Star is he's worked very hard to get where he's at. And, I'm a Midwest girl, but I have family members, I have teenagers that love Jeffree Star. And so I had to go check out what was Jeffree Star about outside of just the great makeup and his wonderful looks when he puts the makeup on. What is Jeffree Star? Who is Jeffree Star? So I went and did my research. Just like I don't brag about Kat Von D eyeliner without using it, knowing it, and researching it. Okay? If you want to spend your money and don't research something, that's your business. But here's my thing. I'm one of those kind of people. I want to know. I want to know what makes somebody who is so creative so big and why people value them or value their products. Products can work all day, but if there isn't something fabulous behind it, it's not going to be big. It's just not. And you can have all the intentions in the world, you can have all the money in the world, and money buys wonderful things, but it cannot buy a creative force. Um, and so with that, my research on Jeffree Star has been wonderful. He admits his faults. He admits his mistakes when he makes them. He doesn't proclaim to be the God Almighty. He says, okay, I did that. Okay, you know what? I had an issue with this. I chose to do this, and this is why. He doesn't owe anybody. Not one person does he owe that level of responsibility. He owes himself, but that's it. He doesn't owe you and me. And I mean, I think that makes him a better businessman because he chooses to be that honest. But in the same sense, I think we have to be mindful of what he gives up. People that have a lot of money and are very famous give up a lot. I'm sure Kat Von D has given up tons to be where she's at. I have mad props for her. I think it's sad that a friendship is probably in the worst decline for this. I hope they get past it. And I hope they move forward out of respect to both of them. They're both wonderful geniuses, both creative. But in the same sense, they have very different styles, very different tacts. And I think, they need to stay in their lane, if they can't mend this. In the other sense, Jeffree Star, the Louis Vuitton bags, pink, fabulous, off the chain, represented you to every level. I gotta say, Louis Vuitton went all out on the luggage and the bags and the hat case. I was just like, whoa. I was over the top. I thought that is badass. Like, props to you. I can't think of anybody better to represent Louis Vuitton. Um, my other thing is, I don't think sometimes we know when these people are at the top level that they are, what they give up to bring you and I, the makeup, the products, the things that we want and love. The things that our teenagers come home and go, oh my goodness, or I take them to the mall and they're shopping for Jeffree Star makeup, and we don't even have a third. We don't even have an inkling of what they're giving up to bring that wonderful product to us. So I think we, as people, and in my world, I like to sprinkle kindness like confetti. And I know that's a cheesy saying, but it's mine and I love it. I think that we have to be mindful that we want to spread good out there and kindness and just know that sometimes we have to read between the lines to get the whole story. And I think that Jeffrey was really good at presenting, the evidence that says, hey, this is what happened. And I think it got blown way out of proportion, way too fast. You can love an artist, but again, it's a business deal at the end of the day. It is definitely not, should never be a he said, she said. And I, I, I just felt like in that situation that Jeffree Star was right. She hadn't contacted him forever, and that's the first thing she says. What the hell, Cat? You're better than that. Um, I mean, I was totally floored when I read that, and I do read the gossip. I mean, I'm like, I have nothing better to do than read stories, read gossip, and I don't always get in the middle of it, but I kind of just had to say that this was, I mean, Cat, you were wrong. You were just wrong in the approach. I mean, you may have wanted to deliver the message or whatever, but either way, at the end of the day, it's Jeffree Star's business. He has the right to decline. He has the right to say, maybe I'll work with you later when I can afford it, but not today. And to think without a contract that Jeffree Star owes anyone. And from what I can tell, his team really took care of the situation. I mean, I don't know that I would have bothered to come up with an agreement or pay anyone because there wasn't a contract signed from what I understand. And there wasn't anything within that said, okay, we're going to do business. So, props to Jeffrey. I don't know that I would have been that kind. If it isn't writing, it doesn't happen. That's just how I see it in this world. I remember when a handshake was great, but guess what? We don't live in that world anymore. The other thing too is that, I just want to be on here and say hello to everyone. I hope you all have a great week coming up. I'm going to work for the first time, like to the office for the first time in 3 years. I love working at home, and I have my own oasis in my backyard that's mine, and I love it. It's my peace. But again, it's just time for me to go show up at the office and not work from home for a day, just to, give our staff props for all the wonderful things they do for us. And I just feel like it's time to go in and say thanks for everything they've put together for us throughout the years that we work at home. Am I going to go to work at the office full time? No, absolutely not. I love working from home. I can take my dog out on my breaks. I can go in my backyard. I drink my water. I don't get colds at all. Like, I hardly ever get a cold anymore because I'm not going to the office and getting all the germs that are circulating with 200 reps walking around a building and coughing and sneezing on everything. So I just want you guys to know that if you get a chance, send this to Jeffree Stars. Tell him I give him mad props. I'd love to figure out a way to get some PR. I'm not too far from Wyoming. By golly gee, I'd take a road trip if that's what it takes. My teenagers would love it. I have a slew, about 25 of those little rugrats is what I call them. But they're my crew, and I am that person. I mean, but I just want to make sure that sometimes, and Jeffrey, I got to say thank you for putting the information out there, not just verbalizing it, but you were showing, the facts of the situation. And I think that was huge. That was a huge game changer for me. And I appreciate that. Other than that, everybody have a wonderful week. Again, I am not Mama Tot. Mama Tot is a pro. I am Mama Bear. And the reason why I went with Mama Bear was nothing to take anything from Mama Tot. It was my kids all call me Mama Bear, and that's it. That's just it. I'm just Mama Bear. I love them when they're in pain. I love them when they're heartbroken. When they're in a great mood, I hang out with them. And so the kids just call me Mama Bear. But I do want to say, I love each and every one of you. You guys are wonderful. I've had nothing but pure engagement and love and appreciation. When I get PR, if I ever get PR, I've signed up for so much PR, I just don't even know. And really, there's only a handful of products. I am an Estee Lauder fan. If somebody can sway me some other way to go another route, that's great. I've heard Jeffree Stars is vegan. I have the most sensitive skin ever. I swear, maybe not, but I do. And I break out at the drop of a dime. So me and my dermatologist are buddies. We're not even like patients anymore there. I just go in. She's like, yeah, okay. And she knows exactly how to fix it. And that's all that matters to me. But I just want to say that I would love to have PR. I have done everything I possibly can, and maybe I'm missing something. I've went on all these videos that have all this information about it, and to this day, still no PR, no package. But again, I'm pretty new. I'm sure there's a lot more things I could be doing. I don't do this full time. So if it ever grows to that point, I will. But at this point, I don't. This is not my only form of cash flow in my home. But I do want to definitely get that PR so I can put those product reviews out there. And not, not just makeup. Like I love makeup, but I'm a very big on tech. Um, Perfumes and colognes. Okay. I am that person because I am picky. I love higher end volume. I will go pay a lot of money for things that are expensive if they're good. Um, and so, um, I appreciate everybody and all your energy and time that you've given back to me on my page. I do appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. And again, take care of yourselves. Don't forget, eat lunch, breakfast, dinner, something good, and spoil yourselves. Definitely. If you don't take the time to spoil yourselves, nobody else is going to do it for you. So make sure that you get out there and do that. Have a good day.